What's up? Random Stosh vlog tonight, part 1. Because on the last one I was saying that we would discuss the end of the world. I don't know if there's going to be anybody out here. It's the eve before Martin Luther King Day, and you're on the Stosh vlog. Anybody out there? Good, there's somebody. Talking about the end of the world. Let's get right into it. What are your feelings? Is the end near? The end is always near on the subways, right? Book of Revelation, probably the most popular thing to talk about on subways. It's huge. The apocalypse. Huge, huge, huge. The Left Behind series. The book of Revelation, also called the Apocalypse of John, Revelation. The final book of the New Testament. I didn't know that. I don't know why I didn't know that. The final book of the Christian Bible. It's huge. I don't even know if I'm prepared to talk about it tonight, but we're going to open it up. Let's talk about the end of the world. We've got 3 listeners. Maybe later's better. Christian eschatology. Eschatology needs to be defined here. So it is the part in theology concerning the final events of history or the ultimate destiny of humanity. This concept is commonly referred to as the end of the world or end times. So eschatology, the word arises from the Greek eschatos, meaning last, and ology, meaning the study of, and first appeared in English around 1844. The context of mysticism, the term refers metaphorically to the end of ordinary reality in the reunion with the divine. Religions treat eschatology as a future event prophesied in sacred text or folklore. Eschatologists vary in the degree of optimism or pessimism about the future. In some eschatologies, conditions are better for some and worse for others, heaven and hell. They also vary as to time frames. Groups claiming imminent eschatology are also referred to as doomsday cults. So that would be Charles Manson with his Helter Skelter. Oh, did you see my YouTube that I did of the... Yes. Yes, the Sumerians. I was just reading that a lot of all of the religions of the Near East, they have some they benefited or they were connected some way to the Sumerians. They had an interesting text that then manifested. I think it had both influence on the Greek and the Hebrew. I'm not even familiar with that word. Is that the same as the 10 Mahabharat or whatever that I've got a video on? I don't even know what that is. Message pinned. I don't know why I did that. Let's look into what Pedro's talking about here. Oh, fuck. The Vedas, yes. Yes, all the great religions have Buddhist eschatology, Christian eschatology, Messianic Judaism. I thought pretty much, Pedro, are you more or less referring to the Hindu eschatology? The Kali Yaga, or Kali Yaga, Yuga. In preparation for talking about the Peter Levenda book, and because we were talking about it, or somebody was, I stumbled upon, he was saying the Dark Lord book that kind of goes over Lovecraft and Kenneth Grant, Typhonian draconian stuff. Sanskrit, the Kali Yaga, is the last of the four stages or ages or yagas the world goes through as part of a cycle of yagas described in Sanskrit scriptures. The other ages are called Satya, Kritya Yaga, Trita Yaga, Dipara Yaga. I'm not really saying this right. So they're not. So it's exactly. He explained it. I didn't know this. I thought it was the goddess Kali. I've been mistaken for a long time. It's a demon called the demon Kali, not the goddess Kali. So that's Hindu eschatology. The avatar Kali, Kali, is the lord of the Kali Yaga, the nemesis of Kalaki. Way out of my depth here, but there's Hindu eschatology. And again, the Kali Yaga is associated with this demon. I'll get this in the chart there. It's a source of evil. So the Kali Yaga time isn't exactly good. It's pretty much the same as the Christian concerns over the the very dramatic Book of Revelation stuff. The end times has been very popular. There was a guy, Hal Lindsey, the late great planet Earth. A lot of people like to dwell on the end, for better or for worse. In Jewish eschatology, discusses events that will happen at the end of days according to the Hebrew Bible and Jewish thought. That includes the ingathering of the exiled diaspora, the coming of a Jewish Messiah, afterlife, and the revival of the dead. Judaism addresses end times in the book of Daniel. In the Old Norse religion, they apparently have something called Ragnarok. In Norse mythology, the Ragnarok. Let's see if I'm pronouncing it. Ragnarok. The Ragnarok. That's in Norse mythology. So we talk about Odin and Thor. Is a series of events including a great battle foretold to lead the death of a number of great figures, including the gods Odin, Thor, etc., etc. I wonder if they used that mythos for the Avengers movie. Natural disasters, the submersion of the world into water. That's their take on eschatology. Oh, in Zoroastrianism, they have the eschatology. Their end of the world is fresh. I'll put it in the fresh Hokardarti. This is Zoroastrianism, the old religion. Destruction and purification by fire. That is in all cultures. Cosmonauts agree with this. I've got 3 listeners. Everybody jump in. That would be the Zoroastrian end of the world eschatology. The Zoroastrian religion, I did a lecture on. It's pretty fascinating. Yeah, they worship fire. Thus spoke Zarathustra. Zarathustra is the prophet of Zoroastrianism. A big fan, of course, was Nietzsche. That's why he had the Thus spoke Zarathustra. I claim to be a big Taoist, and I don't even know that much about Taoist eschatology. Profound influence on Chinese culture. I didn't really know that they talked about the end of the world. I was familiar with the 5 peck of rice movement. Yes. The Hopi endings have a most interesting end of the age take. Thus spoke Zarathustra, yes. Very, very interesting. It is often said that the first monotheistic religion is Zoroastrian, and is really old, out of Persia. In the Islamic one, they also have Islamic eschatology. Similar to the Antichrist in Christianity, they have a Masha ad-Daljal. The prophet, I guess Jesus will be involved in the Islamic eschatology in some ways. Islamic apocalyptic literature describing Armageddon is the great massacre. The righteous are rewarded with the pleasures of paradise, and the unrighteous punished with hell. The beast of the earth. In Sunni Islam, a number of greater or lesser signs foretell the end of days. There's a debate over whether they could occur concurrently or must be at different points of time. I'm all over the place. My personal fantasy or fear, or if I had any delusions about the end of the world, it is seen in this book. No, it is seen personally. My nightmares about it kind of are like this Frida Kahlo. I'm not a, well, I'm a fan of hers, but I'm not going to say whether I support her Marxist ideology or not. But apparently all the intellectuals in the West are huge on that, allegedly. But she has a painting of which the American flag is like covered up with smoke. It's supposed to be the stack of Henry Ford's factory, and I've had dreams about that. The American flag covered with the smoke. In a major work by Manly P. Hall, they said that I think, was it Washington or some of the founding fathers did have dreams about the end. Interesting. The Buddha tried to bring individuality back into religion as he understood the karma and caste system of the Hindus was not good. That is the way I understand Buddha. Buddha is sort of the rebel against the Hindu system, as Christ was considered to be a rebel as well, or a rebellious rabbi or something. Some people kind of say that. Both of them were rebel figures, I guess. As is Neo. Neo in the Matrix. I suppose he's kind of a Christ figure. So, but yeah, I heard that he was against the caste system part. Very interesting. Let's take a look at the pop culture aspect of the end of times, end days, which everybody has a fear of it and a fascination with it, I think. John the Apostle, John of Revelation, John of Patmos. John of Patmos, John the Divine, John the Theologian, John the Revelator. The final book of the New Testament. Text of Revelation states that John was on Patmos, a Greek island, where by most biblical historians he is considered to have been exiled as the result of anti-Christian persecution under the Roman Emperor Domitian. Sorry for the mispronouncing. Since the Roman era, Christians and historians have considered the book of Revelation's writer to be the Apostle John, John the Evangelist, author of the Gospel of John. John of Patmos. Those of you who don't know, the Bible was preserved in Greek as far as I know. The Bible. So if you want to understand the Bible, in theory, you need to speak Greek. Technically. I've heard that. Revelation 1:9. John, your brother, who share with you in Jesus the persecution of and the kingdom and the patient endurance, was on the island called Patmos because of the word of God and the testimony of Jesus. Religion comes from the root word religio, that is to bind together. Interesting. Yes. To make ineffective, impotent. Impotent as well? Am I reading that word correct? Pedro, sorry. I was going to take a look at the... Sorry if I'm incoherent. Anybody jump in there. Give me your best end of the world quotes or takes or whatever. I'm now going into the pop culture aspect of it. Left Behind. I think that's what it's called. Oh, that was a film. Oh, it's only got 2 stars. Left Behind, the film. The apocalyptic thriller by the novel the same name by a Tim LaHaye. That was a Nicolas Cage movie in 2014. The Tim LaHaye. Nicholas Carpathia does not appear in this film. Tim LaHaye, here's the guy. Oh, I guess he died in 2016. He was an American Baptist evangelical Christian minister who wrote more than 85 books, both fiction and nonfiction. Left Behind series of apocalyptic fiction. Apocalyptic fiction. He had a lot of books. The Tribulation Force. Left Behind, The Tribulation Force, The Rise of the Antichrist, Soul Harbors, Apollyon, Armageddon, Glorious Appearing, Kingdom Come. Well, I'm sorry. Tribulation Force. The main character is Rayford Steele. Is a key understanding to what's written in the Old and New Testament. Buck Williams, news reporter. Nicholas Carpathia. The Trib Force. Apocalyptic fiction. The whole zombie thing was huge, right? Zombies, zombie apocalypse, cyberpunk, nuclear holocaust. Anybody out there? Anybody's take on the end of the world? I'm all over the place. I was not well prepared tonight. Anybody got any fantasies about how you think the world's going to end? I had my weird thing about the nuclear war, the flag with smoke in front of it. Well, Left Behind had only 1 star. Signs of the end of the world, red heifer. End of the world, red heifer prophecy. Bible, the red heifer, one of the signs. The Holy Bible, the end of the world, to be a red heifer. Greek and Hebrew. Oh, what's that? I'm not familiar with that. The old Koinera. That's interesting. What the hell? Translated, oh yeah, from the form of Greek, which refers to concepts such as fellowship, joint participation. Right. We've got 6 listeners. Everybody jump aboard and talk about the end of the world. Greek was like a very precise, whereas Semitic tongues such as Hebrew are fluid, open interpretation, fluid, full of puns. Signs of the end of the world. Okay, so we got the red heifer. All right, once in a while they talk about that happening. And what else? Red heifer and the third temple end time prophecy. Oh, wait, the 3 signs. Biblical prop that the Messiah is coming through. Okay, the red heifer. What else? What other happenings? I keep saying, here's the thing. Okay, what else? The fish. Is there a fish? Some type of fish. Dead Sea sinkholes rapidly filling up with fish. Fish in the Dead Sea. Ezekiel prophet foresaw the Dead Sea flourishing into life. So the Dead Sea is going to have water with fish. A snake in the western wall. Snake in the western. Is that a sign? Let me get this up on the board. This article in this British newspaper is talking about the signs. Apparently, there's 3 signs. Greek has 4 words for love: agape, philios, and eros. Well, eros would be the erotic love, and agape would be the nice spiritual love. I always thought. Did I got that wrong? There's a sign of the end of the world newspaper article. Very interesting. I've also heard that people want to speed up the end of the world. What about the third temple? Third temple. End of the world is nigh. And Bible scholars believe this freaky tree of signs proves it. Are the four horsemen of the apocalypse about to saddle up and pay us for a visit? Certainly one of them is the plagues, right? The end involves some kind of plagues. See, I thought I knew about the end of the world, but there's a lot to it. The third temple to be rebuilt. Yes. I lost a listener. Everybody jump in here. Signs of the end. Yeah, the end of the world is huge with people. The third temple is to be rebuilt. Huge point, Pedro. The third temple. End of the world. Jerusalem third temple fulfills biblical prophecy. As you might have known, I did a vlog about the very strange book, The Ninth Arch, of which under the ninth arch is hidden this secret room containing the Ark of the Covenant, the rod of Aaron, and then since it was a bunch of Crowley stuff, they said the Book of the Law, which I don't know. That seemed to be an add-on. Plus, wasn't there, what was that stars that Nostradamus, yeah. What was that strange, only every 400 years, the three planets just lined up about a week or two ago? Wasn't that strange? And then the Star of David came around Christmas time this year, or some type of star. Biblical type related star. So they're working on the temple now, I guess. This is interesting. Update on the building of the third temple. Behold, days are coming, declared the Lord, when I will fulfill the good word. Jeremiah 33:14-18. The importance of rebuilding the temple. According to Numbers 19, the ashes of the red heifer to be mixed with water are a necessary element for purifying, to enable the building of them to do service to build the temple. Interesting. So I don't know. That's strange. That means the end of the world, right? Hey, Irrelevant. What's up? That's a good nickname. Irrelevant. Am I saying your name right? We're in the chat with Irrelevant and Pedro Rojas Cervantes. We're talking about the end of the world, the red heifer. Pop culture version was Left Behind or Tim LaHaye or something. No doubt the end of the world is big money. When 2012 came near, they had tons of books and movies, 2012. But now with the COVID plague worldwide, that's really weird. Start to think about these things a little differently, I suppose. Unfortunately. People talk about the third temple, Solomon's temple. Although it remains unbuilt, the notion of and desire for a third temple is sacred in Judaism, particular Orthodox Judaism. I think the Mason people are concerned with it, and Christian eschatology. Wow, so it's definitely fascinating. It says there was a clash in 2000. A visit to the Temple Mount by Ariel Sharon resulted in a clash between stone-throwing Palestinians and Israeli troops. So the major Abrahamic religions all meet in this point, so it's amazing. The Protestant people, it's big to them. Eastern Orthodox, dispensational evangelicals. Many evangelicals, Christians believe that the New Testament prophecies associated with the Jewish temple, such as Matthew 24 and 25, that fulfilling during the Roman destruction of Jerusalem. The interpretive framework of the Bible stresses biblical literalism. Have you heard some people want to have it happen? Damascus. I did not know that. Going up on a half an hour. Apologize, I'm all over the place tonight. I wasn't prepared to really talk about the end. What do you guys think is going to happen at the inauguration? Got to go smoothly? Why is there troops all around the country? Let's take a look into that right now. Let's take a look at that on the Star Show. Deployment of federal forces in the United States. What's going on? National Guard protecting state houses. What happened to capitals across the country? Are North State National Guard units going to national or state capitals? State houses, U.S. Capitol braced for potentially violent week. Rhode Island National Guard deploys to Washington, D.C. Protests start small at newly fortified state houses. Newsom orders National Guard protection in California state capitol. Massachusetts State House fortified by police. Gather Sunday as precaution ahead of the presidential inauguration. National Guard out in force to protect Pennsylvania Capitol. Maine voices possibility of National Guard in that state. America braces for inauguration trouble. What do you guys think? I've only got 3 listeners. I'll be right back. Sorry. The oldest continued inhabited city in the world is Damascus. Really? I knew it was old. Damascus. Oldest continually inhabited city. Okay. Nations' governors prepare for the worst, warn of long-term dangers to their capitals. Pelosi threatens impeachment. Oh, that was 1 week ago. Thousands of National Guard troops prepare to support Biden's inauguration. I never imagined this. Washington prepares for inauguration under siege. That's 4 hours ago. Maryland State Police on alert to protect State House. Maine is protecting up there. I don't know. Holcomb, he's Indiana. Signs order to deploy National Guard to protect Indianapolis. Interesting. Trump mobilizes D.C. National Guard. Unarmed National Guard activated. No, that's June 24th. That's 2020. So we've got troops. Got troops at all the state houses. Is that a sign of the end? But the concept of Gog and Magog. In Revelation, Gog and Magog together are the hostile nations of the world. Oh, wait, let me go back. I think this is an end of the world aspect, right? What does Gog and Magog represent? In the Hebrew Bible, the prophesied invader of Israel and the land from which he comes, respectively, or in the Christian scriptures, evil forces opposed to the people of God. Gog and Magog, which I mentioned, 2 guys in the Skull and Bones call themselves in that. And Gog and Magog, this is interesting, appear in the Hebrew Bible and Quran as individuals, tribes, or lands. In Ezekiel 38, Gog is an individual and Magog is his land. In Genesis 10, Magog is a man, but no Gog is mentioned. And centuries later, Jewish tradition changed Ezekiel's Gog and Magog into Gog and Magog. Very interesting. Putting that up here for discussion. Another aspect of the end of the world is the Gog-Magog concept. Oh, I'm only down to 2 guys? I understand. I did not do well tonight. I'm all over the place. Talking about the end of the world tonight. We've got Pedro and and irrelevant in the house tonight. Aspects of the end of the world we're talking about. Another aspect is the rapture. An eschatological theological position held by some Christians, particularly within the branches of American evangelicalism, consisting of an end-time event when all Christian believers who are alive, along with resurrected believers, will rise in the clouds and meet the Lord in the air. After the rapture, who are the leftovers? So I guess if you're a jerk, you stay here. Good people go to heaven. The rapture. Are you ready for the rapture? Meet the Lord in the air. So people are going to fly up through the air. On October 28, 1982, a large cult went around, apparently. It's in Wired magazine. Website lets you send a post-rapture email to friends. Put that Wired magazine in here. I guess this is sort of making fun of this. Got 3 listeners. Anybody want to weigh in on the end of the world? The rapture. End of the world. Of course, I have many videos that said the world would end and I would do something scary, and then people would get on here and get pissed because they'd say, hey, it didn't happen, buddy. You jerk. I know. That was pretty lousy of me. But I put it up. I covered the story on the Stosh channel. What can I tell you? It wasn't pretty, but I did it. Oh, we're down to 2 guys. All right. Pedro, I think I'm going to call it quits because, sorry, this cast wasn't that great. But this is only part 1. Notify everybody, and maybe tomorrow night we're going to talk about Martin Luther King Day. Sometimes people go out, used to sort of get together and celebrate Dr. King, but probably tomorrow there won't be anything done. Sorry if this coverage wasn't that good. Like most people, I just talk about it. Oh, wait. It's another major aspect. End of the world bar codes. That was something that cats used to talk about a lot. Mark of the beast is in the barcodes. Maybe it makes sense to me. Why the barcode will always be the mark of the beast. It's Wired magazine seems to cover a lot of this stuff, and they're like computer geniuses. Joe Whelan invented the barcode, a collection of lines and numbers used to ring up your groceries every time you visit the supermarket. And after the long-time IBMer passed away earlier this month, age 91, the response to certain parts of the web was all too predictable. Barcode. It's the mark of the beast, wrote one regular Wired commentary in response to our Joe Whelan tribute, pointing readers to the 16th verse of the 13th chapter of the book of Revelation. He causes both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads, and that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark or the name of the beast. Let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for It is the number of man. His number is 666. Soylent Green is people. Isn't everything make a 666? All the corporate logos or something? Sorry, tonight's Stashcast sucks. I apologize. These definitely do seem like the end of the world times, though. I mean, the COVID is very strange. It looks like the end. All right, Pedro. Maybe tomorrow night, 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, we'll get on again. Let's everybody prepare. Give me more information about the end of the world. What do you guys think? Is the end coming? Give me what you know about eschatology. I want to know all about end of the world pop culture. The Hopi Indians, I like that. The end of the age, the Kali Yaga. It's always the Kali Yaga, right? Sticks just commented on the Kali Yaga. Somebody said, is this the Kali Yaga? He said, yeah. It's always the Kali Yaga. I agree with him on that. The guy's a lot better vlogger than I am. He's got a cat and everything. Tried to talk to him one time on social media. I think he thinks I'm a dick. What the hell am I talking about? Anybody else want to weigh in tonight? Got any end of the world lore? Anything more about the red heifer? The Dead Sea? All right. I think tomorrow night, let's go back on and talk more about the end of the world. Pedro, thanks for your extensive theological knowledge. Appreciate it, my brother. And Ancient Sumer. Raw ruled by Dozer from Ghostbusters 2. All right, you guys. I don't have much further to add. I'm going to try to talk more about this and 2 book reviews this week that people might like. So, and hopefully there's not a like a civil war or something that would blow. Let's pray for peace. Peace, everybody. Everybody watching this vlogcast, do some peace. All right. All right. I'll see you guys. Thanks so much for coming on. Sorry this was kind of disorganized tonight, but end of the world talk perhaps tomorrow night. I'll notify you guys ahead of time. All right, take care. Have a great evening, you guys.